Hello and welcome back to our Rubank Elementary book series for the tuba. This series is for beginner tuba players, younger tuba players, or anybody who just wants to get better at their fundamentals on the tuba. Today we are on page 13, lesson 11, and we're going to be talking more about eighth notes, but what I really want us to focus on today is thinking in terms of scales, thinking in terms of sequences, and just don't have lazy ears. That is one thing that if I could drive into every single one of my students' head is that they need to be listening as much as they can. And there's patterns and stuff in music, and especially in this book, that can make playing this book 1,000 times easier. Now, we all know what a scale is. So much of this book is just stepwise up a scale, da, 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 da. We need to be able to realize that if a measure is simple like that, and we are repeating it throughout the line, that's what's happening. So it kind of takes out any kind of guesswork. It kind of engages our ear and makes everything a lot simpler. So for example, measure 1 and 2 for line 1 is bum, 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 bum. But then look at measure 3 and 4, it's the same exact rhythms except just moved up a little bit. And that's basically what's happening throughout that entire line. And that's a lot of this book, guys. If we can understand that and get really good at realizing that, then man, we're gonna make a lot of progress. Now, what is that other word that I used at the beginning of the video? It was sequence. Now, what is a sequence? This is probably a little bit bigger of a concept, but for anybody who really wants to dive into the idea of this, I think it's really interesting. When I was a sophomore in music school in college, they wanted me to memorize the definition of a sequence, and we were told to memorize it as a series of immediate transpositions. Now, does that matter to you? No, not at all. But basically, a sequence is that concept that we just discussed. Measure 1 and 2 is done a certain way starting on E flat. Now, measure 3 and 4 is done the same exact certain way starting on G. That's basically what a sequence is. Will you need to use that? Maybe one day, but just think in terms of scales and find the patterns. If you get really good at that, you're gonna be crushing it in this book. So that's what we're gonna focus on here. Really listen, see what you can recognize and find similar throughout me playing this. We will be doing this page at 80 beats per minute. Make sure that we're using our ears as much as possible. Okay, and that's all that we have for this page of the book. I hope you guys took note of those little crescendos and decrescendos at the end of line 4 as we're working through this book. Let's try to take note of all the little extra stuff that's thrown in along the way. Those accents, those crescendos, whatever kind of dynamic markings it gives us. It gives us so few that when we're given them, they're clearly important and they're clearly there to teach us something. Hopefully you learned at least some new terms, some new things to think about, and maybe you go in and tell your band director you know what a sequence is and telling them that definition, they'll be amazed. Keep in mind that these video lessons don't replace one-on-one private lessons. If you want to take a private lesson with me, check the description down below. If you're not in my area, online lessons are a completely viable way to take lessons, especially at this level. We can make a ton of progress just diving in on specific things that you can do differently that will just help your playing so much. And also check out the description down below for free warm-ups, free resources, fun music to play on my website. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go make life musical, and I'll see you in the next one.